and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo Switch port. I ended up making an error when I was making this originally because I had made two videos and realized that the videos were both kind of crappy as far as recording content goes because my capture card decided to want to record the wrong audio. Yeah, I decided I wanted to try to record my microphone on top of my microphone so that way it doubled up and it sounded like utter crap. So I found the save file. I didn't save during that, thankfully, but I had to start off back to where I was when I was recording this episode. So the last episode you saw that I completed Jabu Jabu, and that's where I'm continuing off from. Now instead of starting off over at Zora's Domain like I normally would from previous episodes, I'm actually going to be starting off in the middle of Hyrule Field, because I know that there's something I need to grab before I go and do the next step, which is supposed to be going over towards Castletown. So the first thing we're going to do is actually go over to Lon Lon Ranch, because there's a song that's over there that I need to grab before I can actually go and do everything over towards the next step in this adventure. I can't tell if it's getting ready to turn night or what, but I'm probably going to end up using the Song of the Sun beforehand, and yep, I was correct. I'm probably going to have to use it before. But if it's still daytime while I'm going in, it should be fine. I'm fine. Welcome to Lon Lon Ranch, the ranch that belongs to both Talon and Malon, or as I typically call her, Malon. Now, first thing I'm doing is I'm going to go in here and say hi to this guy. Huh? I'm awake already. What? Well, I'll be, if it ain't the Forest Kid from the other day. By the way, thanks a lot for waking me up. It took some doing, but I finally got Malon back in a good mood. So, what are you up to today? Got some free time on your hands, you say? Well, how about a little game? These three cuckoos I have here are special super cuckoos. I'm going to throw these cuckoos into their gaggle of normal cuckoos. If you can pick out these three special birds from among the normal cuckoos within the time, I'll give you something good. If you can't find them, I win. It'll be 10 rupees. Want to play? And since I have 187, yeah, sure, I'll play. Now, if you notice, these cuckoos don't really look that much more different from your normal cuckoo. So, finding them really requires you to really pay attention as to where they might have landed. You have 30 seconds. Alrighty then, get ready. Here go the super cuckoos. Start looking! Now, this one over here that's closest to me doesn't necessarily matter. It's just the ones that are standing still at the time that he throws them is the ones I need. That's one of them. Keep it up. Keep it up. 2 more to find. And I do believe it's this one. There we go. There's another. All right, now the moment of truth. 1 more to find. And I think it's this one. Wow, I was right next to it. Golly, I'll be darned. It's incredible. That's the last one. You found them all. Come on over here. Hey, you've got the talent to be one of the world's best cowboys. If it wasn't for the fact that the cuckoo was trying to give the camera a kiss, I definitely would have agreed on that one there, Talon. How'd you like to marry Malon, huh? Well, I'm embarrassed either way, and there's another cuckoo that's trying to kiss the camera. I was just kidding. Just kidding. I think you're a little young for that, aren't you? Oh, I'm proud to present you a sample of our very own Lon Lon milk. You'll be energized the moment you drink it. Man, a lot of these cuckoos want to be in the picture. After you drink it, you can bring back the bottle and buy a refill anytime you want. You've got Lon Lon milk. This milk is very nutritious. Use with C and recover your life energy. You will recover 5 hearts per drink. There are 2 drinks per bottle. On the select item subscreen, you can set it to left, down, or right, and then use that C to take a drink. Which then gives us our 3rd bottle. Which will make it very easy for a lot of the other things that we need to do. Now, there is another Skulltula here, because I remember this. And I got too close and I ended up hitting it. So now it should be our 20th Skulltula? Yep, our 20th. Now the main reason why I came back this way was because I almost forgot a certain song. And if I was to go with adult now, I would end up forgetting to get it later. And the certain song that I'm looking for is actually to deal with this tiny cute little horse here. Oh, it's the fairy boy again. I heard that you found my dad. How did you like the castle? Did you see the princess? Dad came home in a hurry after you found him. Oh yeah, I have to introduce you to my friend, Fairy Boy. She's this horse. Her name is Epona. Isn't she cute? And thus, she runs away. And then we have to talk to her again. It seems like Epona is afraid of you, Fairy Boy. And now we gotta talk to her about the song that she's singing on. My mother composed this song. Isn't it nice? Let's sing together. Well, I can't sing because I'm apparently a mute in all the other ones. But I have this ocarina that I can play. Oh, cute ocarina! Are you going to play this song with that ocarina? Okay, this is the song. See, I like playing all these different songs, and I think I mentioned this back in one of my other episodes. I can't remember exactly, but I used to play in my middle school and high school band, like the different ones. Obviously, in middle school, I used to play the alto saxophone, and it was from 6th grade to 8th grade, and we were just basically concert band, all that. And we did very little marching. Hi, Epona. And from there, we actually got to march with the high schoolers at the time of my 8th grade year. And we would do like different charity events and stuff like that. Well, in high school, by the time I reached there, from 9th to 12th, I played in every year. I was concert, symphonic, and marching band. And between those 4 years, I played between alto saxophone, tenor saxophone, and I also played the bass drum in the percussion section. And the songs that I played were very based on what we needed. Now, for this area, this is the Lon Lon silo, basically. There's a little gap here in the very back corner. Now, typically, you would think you would have to move the box all the way. But there's actually just enough of a gap here that most speedrunners use, and those in a randomizer, so you could just slip right through there. And you get to this piece of art that's right here. Now, this one shouldn't be our last one, right? No, we're up to 3 pieces right now. Okay, so I have to go into here. But for marching band, I played alto saxophone and the bass drum, but that was dependent on what year I was in. And then there was the symphonic / concert band, and I would play tenor saxophone or alto saxophone, depending. No, not this one. Now, the reason why I'm turning it to nighttime here is because there's actually a couple of Skulltulas that I can collect from this area. Of course, there are a bunch of birds. I unfortunately have to also get past these birds to get to some of the Skulltulas that I need, which there should be a total of 3. There's initially a total of 4, but I've already killed one of them. And once again, I gave it a swoosh right in the head. Now, there's also a grotto that's over here, too. And there's supposed to be rupees, I think, in here? I'm not entirely sure. No, it's literally just, Deku merchants. You'll sell me Deku nuts. I don't want those. Where's I actually hit that? Tell you, sell me Deku seeds, and I don't want those. What are you gonna sell? You're gonna sell me something good news? You'll sell me some bombs. 5 pieces for 40? Oh, that's a ripoff. Even then, I still have some bombs. But yeah, so playing songs that involve musical instruments, like all the Legend of Zeldas, basically, the ones that involve songs, those are the ones I like to play, especially. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the other ones, I just like those ones a little bit more. The only weird one is Twilight Princess, where as you're a wolf, you basically use, I want to say... Okay, there we go. Get rid of those. Ooh, free 5 rupees. You had to use the pitches of the wolf to be able to play some of the songs. And some of the songs you would play were very similar to what you would play in Ocarina of Time. Which I know one is like Epona Song and Song of Storms, I think, or there's the Sun Song. It's one of those, and you would have to do it like double, and they would do like various things. They would unlock locations to where you could be able to learn different sword techniques. That's the only time you ever really get to play the songs, air quotes, in the game. Yes, I remember you. You're hanging out up here. Oh, I actually hit that. Hit that. And that'll make go 23. And so we can get to it before or after we go say hi to Castletown. It's just dependent. Okay, so now that we have this going on, we're going to go over here to Castletown. It doesn't matter if it's day or night, it just depends on how soon you're able to get over here to register this trigger, in a sense. If the stall children would just stop running into me, that would be even better. But you notice it's a lot more darker and spookier when we get over here. And there's actually a very specific reason why it's like this. And you'll see it right now. The skies are dark. There's lightning in the background. The gate's closed currently. And now it is raining. As the drawbridge drops. Out will appear a horse, rode by both Impa and Zelda. Now, with that throw, she shouldn't be able to reach the river, but apparently the game decided she has the arm of Hylia to be able to just throw it in there. And thus the mastermind behind all the dark events that have happened in the game, say hello to Ganondorf in person. I lost her. My nose is itchy. I apologize. I don't know why my nose is so itchy. You, over there, little kid. You must have seen the white horse gallop past just now. Which way did it go? Answer me. Shaved like a couple of days ago. It's supposed to itch. So you think you can protect them from me? You've got guts, kid. You want a piece of me? Very funny. I like your attitude. Now, how about you stand still and I'll show you a bit of what I can do. Pathetic little fool. Do you realize who you are dealing with? I am Ganondorf, and soon I will rule the world. And now we get to watch him as he runs off after both Zelda and Impa. That's when he realizes that that prophecy has come to pass, and he didn't die because of it. What's that? Well, as you could tell, Navi, if you looked with the eyes that you're supposed to have, it's actually the Ocarina of Time. I'm apparently just a little away from it. There we go. You found the Ocarina of Time. This is the royal family's hidden treasure which Zelda left behind. It glows with a mystical light. Like in English, I promise. I think my nose is just a little stuffy. I think that's why it's irritated. Starboy, can you hear me? It's Zelda. Starboy, when you hold this ocarina in your hand, I won't be around anymore. I wanted to wait for you, but I couldn't delay any longer. At least I could leave you the ocarina in this melody. This song opens the door of time. And if you notice, this ocarina is a little bit bigger than the fairy ocarina that Saria gave us because it actually goes past our left hand based on where we normally hold it. You've learned the Song of Time, and thus now we have 5 of the 6 main songs that don't really do much other than certain things throughout the entire game. Now, Starboy, play this melody in front of the altar in the Temple of Time. You must protect the Triforce. You got it, Princess. And for whatever reason, we end up spawning right back here in front of the drawbridge that leads to Castle Town Market. So, we'll just go in here. Now, from what I recall, I think there was a couple of things that I didn't do, but I don't remember. Actually, yeah, there's a couple of things I want to do before I go into the Temple of Time, which is actually over here. I don't think I've done this yet. The Bombchu Bowling Alley. Huh? Uh-oh. A customer. Welcome to our cutting-edge amusement center, the Bombchu Bowling Alley. You want to know what you can win? Well, it's a secret. I can't tell you until you pay to play. It's 30 rupees per game. Do you want to play? Yes, I'll spend some rupees to play. Okay, aim for the hole in the center and let Bombchu go. You get 10 tries. Ready? Let's bowl. Oh, I almost forgot. Here's what you can win. A piece of heart. I almost forgot about that when I was originally recording this. Now, this game is absolutely horrible depending on the positioning. And I was just talking about you. How dare you prove me right? And that's a little too far to the right, to the left. My directions are all messed up now. Here we go. Okay. And now, just right down the middle. Come on. No, cuckoos! The cuckoos don't die, they just end up getting stunned for a couple of seconds. And thus, I have to play the waiting game. And also, that is a really big cuckoo. Oh my god, I actually got it. So now we have this piece of heart, which will give us... How many hearts now? I'll count after this. Do you want to play again? And there is actually a hidden secondary reward. Oh, I almost forgot. Here's what you can win. Bombs. That is not it. We'll keep playing until we happen to find a reward. Now that this one's over, we'll see what our next one is. This is the other one. The bomb bag. So, first one's always the easiest. Now it's depending on the next one. You're mean, you know this. There we go. Okay, so that gave us what we wanted. Now, let's see if this Bombchu can just... Nope. We have to wait for it to go all the way down. Come on, Cocoon, move out of the way. Yes! We finally got the other one. Now we can hold 30 bombs, which will be great because I can be able to do just a bit more stuff with these. You got a big bomb bag. You can now carry more bombs, up to a maximum of 30. Do you want to play again? Nope. And we only spent a total of, let's see, we're at 180. We played 3 games, so we spent 90 rupees. And I'll just go back up here and just start collecting some of these. And there's like one other game that we could play, but I prefer to play with the Lens of Truth, so that way I don't have to spend too many rupees. But we're going back this way before we go to the Temple of Time. Oh, come on. And it's talking to this soldier here, because he only spawns here after the events of Ganondorf attacking. Are you the boy from the forest? I finally meet you. I have something to tell you. Ganondorf, the Gerudo King of Thieves, betrayed our king. Zelda's nanny, Impa, sensed danger and escaped from the castle with our princess. I tried to stop Ganondorf's men from chasing them, but The princess was waiting for a boy from the forest. That's you. She wanted to give something to the boy. If you received it for the princess, hurry to the Temple of Time. And thus, he sits there now, and he's not moving anymore. One of the only canonical deaths that still haven't been explained as to why this is the only soldier that has perished. And I mean, there's no other soldiers here, and he's the only one that has. Ooh, wait, before we go, there was one more place I want to stop real quick, and it's actually just over here by Hyrule Castle. So give me a sec. So if you remember, back in Zora's Fountain, there was that hidden fairy fountain that's over there. And I think this was brought up by the other great fairy that's over here, the Dead Fountain. But right here, in this little crawl space, leads to another fairy fountain. Specifically, a great fairy fountain. And she'll give us something to help us on our journey. What was that I was trying to play? I pressed on the, because on the controller I have to use this stick specifically, and I went like that to play the song, but for whatever reason it went up towards the left, and decided it wanted to play the same note twice. Obviously I didn't catch it until it was too late. So this great fairy is going to give us something that'll help us out, but I don't remember what. Welcome, Star Boy. I am the Great Fairy of Magic. I will give you a magic spell. Please take it. Oh, that's right. That's where this one was. And this one being red is going to be associated with the power of Din's Fire. And this is actually needed to access something that's going to be used later in the game, or to just defeat enemies overall. You got Din's Fire. Its fireball engulfs everything. It's magic. It's attack magic you could use with C. So now we have two magic spells: Aurora's Wind and Din's Fire. You can't use Din's Fire you could use Din's Fire not only to attack but also to burn things. When battle has made you weary, please come back to see me. One of the most famous quotes that have been talked about across all of the Zelda games that have portrayed a great fairy. Okay, so now the only other thing left to do is just to simply get caught and go back to the Temple of Time. So we'll meet up back at the Temple of Time real quick. Ow. So here is the Temple of Time. We are now in the main sanctum. And if you notice, the background music is actually the Song of Time, slowed with vocals. There are 3 hollows and an inscription here. Ye who owns 3 spiritual stones, stand with the Ocarina of Time and play the Song of Time. That is how the inscription reads. And with this, we then get to open the door of time now. What'll happen now is that the spiritual stones will actually leave me, and these things are bigger than me, and yet I was able to fit them inside my pouch for no reason. I mean, hell, these things are as big as my frickin' entire being. The power of the spiritual stones powers the triangles on the Triforce, and that power opens the door of time. And now we can go into here, into basically the Temple of Time's inner sanctum. Starboy, isn't that? It's that legendary blade. The Master Sword. That doesn't normally happen. Instead of Navi just immediately going and just being like right here beside me or swapping sides or whatever, she actually just stuck herself right into my hat on the way back. And now, before we move and go in to get the Master Sword, there are these 6 sigils that are on the ground, and these ones actually portray different elements that we will soon learn later on as to what they mean. Now watch this bit on the Master Sword. You see that yellow gem? It has disappeared and turned into something of a letter, almost. Almost like a Hylian letter, but I don't know exactly what it means. Hi, Ganon. How'd you get in here? Excellent work. As I thought, you held the keys to the Door of Time. You have led me to the gates of the Sacred Realm. Yes, I owe it all to you, kid. So now he's floating within the Sacred Realm, but because of its area, it's actually just whited out. It's like a telepathic conversation we have with him. Starboy, wake up, Starboy the Chosen One. And now we are in a very special place. It's actually like a weird little area that's the in-between to the realm of Hyrule to the sacred realm of the Triforce. Who are you? I am Waru, one of the ancient sages. Ages ago, we ancient sages built the Temple of Time to protect the entrance to the sacred realm. This is the Chamber of Sages, inside the Temple of Light. The Temple of Light, situated in the very center of the sacred realm, is the last stronghold against Ganondorf's evil forces. The Master Sword, the evil-destroying sword that you pulled out of the pedestal of time, was the final key to the sacred realm. Starboy, don't be alarmed. Look at yourself. And now we are basically an adult. Look, Starboy, you're big now. You've grown up. The Master Sword is a sacred blade which evil ones may never touch. Only one worthy of the title of Hero of Time can pull it from the pedestal of time. However, you were too young to be the Hero of Time. Therefore, your spirit was sealed here for 7 years. And now that you are old enough, the time has come for you to awaken as the Hero of Time. Well, do you understand your destiny? Yes, I do. But remember, though you opened the Door of Time in the name of the peace, Ganondorf, the Gerudo King of Thieves, used it to enter this forbidden sacred realm. He obtained the Triforce from the Temple of Light, and with its power, he became the King of Evil. Its evil power radiated from the temples of Hyrule. In its 7 short years, it transformed Hyrule into a world of monsters. My power now has only little influence, even in the sacred realm, namely this Chamber of Sages. But there is still hope. The power of the sages remains. When the power of all the sages is awakened, the sages' seals will contain all the evil power in the void of the realm. I, Waru, am one of the sages, and your power to fight together with the sages makes you the Hero of Time. The Hero of Time, chosen by the Master Sword. Keep my spirit with you, and find the power of the other sages, and add their might to your own. I'm gonna have to review the footage on that one, but did Link do like a spin before he managed to grab this? That was this gift that was given to him? I think I just losing my mind. I think he just like bent down to reach up to get it. You received the light medallion. Roll with the sage adds his power to yours. Find the other sages and save Hyrule. I will do my best. There's only so much I can do. And now we return to the Temple of Time. Essentially, how it works is that because 7 years had passed, you are now 17, I want to say. You were like 10 years old when you started this adventure, now you're 17. Starboy, we're back in the Temple of Time. But have 7 years really passed? It looks like you won't be able to use some of the items, some of the weapons you found as a kid anymore. Let's get out of here. And somehow, who are you? How did you get in here? Why are you standing where I once stood? I've been waiting for you, hero of time. When evil rules all, an awakening voice from the sacred realm will call those destined to be sages who dwell in the 5 temples. One in a deep forest, one on a high mountain, one under a vast lake, one within the house of the dead, one inside a goddess of the sand. Together with the hero of time, the awakened ones will bind the evil and return the light of peace to the world. This is the legend of the temples passed down by my people, the Sheikah. I am Sheik, survivor of the Sheikahs. Convenient naming. As I see you standing there, holding the mythical Master Sword, you really do look like the legendary hero of time. If you believe the legend, you have no choice. You must look for the 5 temples and awaken the 5 sages. One sage is waiting for the time of awakening in the Forest Temple. The sage is a girl I am sure you know. Because of the evil power in the temple, she cannot hear the awakening call from the sacred realm. Unfortunately, equipped as you currently are, you cannot even enter the temple. But if you believe what I'm saying, you should head to Kakariko Village. Do you understand, Starboy? And yet they know my name without me telling them. So wait, if I wanted to go as a kid, what do I do? To save the forest girl, you need another skill. Head to Kakariko Village. And so I can't put my sword back to return as a kid. Now, as I mentioned, these symbols right here on the ground actually portray which ones are which. The one I'm standing on right now is for the light medallion. These are the 5 medallions. The one of the forest, the one of fire, the one of water, the one of the spirits, and one of shadow. Those are the other 5 sigils that we have to go and visit. 2 of which are relatively close to each other, as far as where to go. But right now, there's nothing else we can do. Now, we could return here at any time after we defeat the Forest Temple, but we would need to first defeat the Forest Temple, which is going to be the next episode. So thank you all so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing to the channel, as it does help the channel grow just a little bit more if I can English properly. If you like the content that you are seeing here, please feel free to like the video, as it does help me understand that you guys are liking this a bit more. Again, English is the hardest thing. I've been speaking this for about 27 years. If you would like to see me do something different or want to recommend something to me, please feel free to leave it in the comments below. And be sure to keep an eye out for whenever I am recording next, as by pressing that bell notification that's right there after you hit subscribe. And if you would like for me to do a randomizer of Ocarina of Time, feel free to let me know, as I have been streaming that on twitch.tv/StarKingKarma, and would love to post it for you guys here on YouTube. And as always, I will see you all in the next one. Have a good one, everybody.